Okay, so this video should be relatively short, so hopefully you guys like it. So let's say you're conducting this program here, right, in the previous video, and all of a sudden you see a trait or a gene, or what you think might be a gene, or like let's say a natural form of albinism, or whatever, doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you see that you're like, whoa, hold up, or you think it might be something, right? What I want you to do is I want you to take that offspring or offsprings that you see with it. If you're already seeing multiple, then great, breed them together and see if you get a lot more. If you do, then bam, your job is done. But then you'll have to also test to see if it's recessive or whatever else. So, but that's a whole nother thing. But anyways, so then what you'll do is you'll take that over here, and we're going to call that the original visual, right? And so that you guys can kind of just have this on and see it. So then what you'll take is you'll take the visual ones, and you'll take a sibling if possible, or parent is best. Either one will work. Sibling's good, parent's good, like I said. And then you'll breed the original visual of whatever trait it was you were like, wait a minute. And you'll see, and you'll breed them together, okay? The second step is you'll take all opposite sex offspring and breed them back to this one. And then also, additionally, breed as many offspring from these two being paired together as possible. Now, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're already going to recreate this original at this step. So, let's just say, though, that you are just sucking at odds, right? And then you're going to need to dig in a little bit deeper to kind of see, okay, so maybe this is something that is also kind of more on this realm of like polygenic stuff. So, but anyway, if you're going to be, because this is for, I said surfacing genes, but what I mean is if you already have one and you're like, wait a minute, is this recreatable? Is this a gene? That's why I put recreating there. And so if this pairing here happens, this very well could be possible het for this trait. So then this here would create more hets for you to breed back, or even could recreate it right there. So just the same though, in this process, because like I said, I'm trying to kind of keep this more simple so that your average person that is not already well educated on genetics, or maybe they are spotty or whatever, can understand it, and it's more simplistic form for you to be able to see. So, okay. Anyways, let's just say that you took the original visual from over here and a sibling or a parent, either way, and you crossbred those and you didn't get it. So then you also bred siblings together and you didn't get it. Let's just say that that happened. That's very rare, but let's just say, for the course, sake of argument here. So then the third step and last step would be breed all offspring from step 2 back to the original again, and then also breed siblings together again. If you don't see it after this last step here, which is almost always completely unnecessary, but let's just say if you don't see it after that step there, because this would be then you taking the offspring here. So this, what I'm referring to here, so I'm thorough, is I'm saying if you did all this and you bred them all back to this and siblings together, you would take all those offspring you produced and still didn't hit the trait and do this with it. So you would breed them all back again to the original and siblings together, the more the better. Hopefully that makes sense to all of you. If it does not, you can always just message me. Again, I deal with people, with breeding programs and such like that all the time. Educating is probably like, it's a bulk of my job. So, but anyway. Okay, so then let's say you did all of this, right? And still didn't get it. Then it's not going to be a gene you can breed for like that. So you're going to have to bring this back here and try and just keep breeding it out. So what you would do is you would grab, if you had multiple visuals of it, great. Then just breed those together and see if you recreate it. If you do, then go down this tree and start that whole thing with those visuals, right? And then you can proceed from there, and congratulations, you've succeeded. So But the next thing is too is if you paired this, right, as a test to see if it's recessive or not, what you would do is you would take this here and breed it to a completely unrelated one altogether, because it might be lingering here heterozygous in these offspring, so you don't want to use those. So if you bred this visual to another one and you didn't see visuals of it, then it's not recessive. Then it's not dominant, and it might be recessive. If you did breed these here and got more, it's recessive. So just kind of hopefully that makes sense. Again, I'm getting kind of zapped now. This will be my last video for today, and I have plenty more videos to be making. So, but again, I was just trying to kind of get you guys this video so you could see if you're running this program here, or even if you just randomly ran into one that was somewhere else and you're like, oh my gosh, I think that might be something, and you had it, then you could do this and just have these be non-related and do the breedings like I stated. So if they are related, great, your chances of achieving it are higher and faster. So, but again, it is not unusual for people to actually surface genes out of doing this. This is actually one of the main constructs that gets genes to surface new. And if you can land a new gene, I know cichlids, it's not too, people don't really pay too much attention to that, but other species, like if you were using this for geckos, or snakes, people who find new genes, and to test it, all you would do then is, so like, let's say you found an albino in here, naturally occurring, right? And there was no history of albinism. You could just take this original visual and breed it straight to multiple different sources of albinos for cichlids, right? And if this was a new trait, then it would not produce albinos here. You would just get all non-visuals. So again, it's all a system. It all works. Because again, if you're breeding a recessive and both parents are actually expressing it, then you're going to see the offspring have it. So let's say that this is a dominant trait, not a recessive, right? Then you're going to breed it to something else completely non-related, and you're going to see visuals. So in which case you can stop there, because you already know, okay, so I actually bred this out, and if I breed any one of these visuals to an unrelated, I'm seeing it reproduce, then okay, so it's a dominant trait. But anyway, again, I'm trying to keep this kind of simple down. I don't see any reason to have to use some big elaborate terminology and such like that, when in reality, push comes to shove, it doesn't actually mean anything to you. So I like to be able to keep things simple, understand, and at the end of the day, if you're achieving what you're trying to and you're shooting for and you're successful, then you've achieved it. So hopefully this video makes sense to you guys. Again, if you can always just reach out to me if you are wondering, hey, I could give you plenty of examples too if you're breeding leopard geckos and you wanted to know, some, like I said, so if you're breeding leopard geckos, betas, cichlids, guppies, anything I've bred in the past, I can quickly correlate any of this for you with things that you may or may not see, and even things that you'd be watching for. And I can tie these things in so that you can have a better understanding of something that you can physically go see now. And then you would understand all these things that I was talking about here, because you could actually see examples of it. So, and that's assuming I don't already have pictures of it, but from my own breedings. But anyways, so again, this video is kind of short. Hopefully you guys enjoy this and are finding this very applicable. It's just one more tool for you to be able to have and understand what to do. This is part of where the experience aspects start really stacking up here, for you to being able to actually be a breeder and understand like a real thorough, and that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to actually get all this information out there for you guys so you can actually see this, understand it. The more people that understand these things, the better. And it does nothing but positives for everyone if everyone can understand all of these types of things right here. You're not going to see me show you guys demonstrations of things that might be a little bit confusing to people. and in the end picture, not actually important. There's a lot of that stuff in genetics that in push comes to shove, it's not going to matter, because in your productions here, you're going to see visual examples, and I feel like there's more visual example learners than not. So again, I myself am even. So I'm all hands-on visual learner. So all of this stuff here is actually all from myself. This is all process that I did. This is all very tried and true over years. You know, this will prove true every time. It's not just a maybe. So again, this is one tool. I have one more that I'll just go ahead and probably make the video for you right now. I'm getting kind of tired, but since I'm already out here making videos, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I'll erase this one and I'll keep this one here just so you guys actually have, I redrew this aspect there, just so you guys can kind of have a constant model here of what you would be doing. So if you missed it on another video, you can kind of get a glimpse of it there. But anyway, so I'll end this one now.